So I've had some people ask, how do we actually get Voyager? Well, there's actually a couple of routes. Why don't we investigate them? I'm Admiral Pegasus, and this is Star Trek Fleet Command. Hi all and welcome to the show. On today's show we are going to cover how to acquire the newest ship in the game, USS Voyager. And we're going to quickly cover the good, the bad and the ugly. Well, as much as we can do without the ship. But first, if you have engaged in the storylines meta, yes, which is right behind me, and you've completed that first SMS, you are literally on your way for a 50-day grind to get Voyager. However, if you did not complete that first event over there, sorry, you'll reside to the 100-day path, because from what I've heard, there's no redundancy. This is a 100% attendance, 100% completion to actually achieve that. Now, hopefully I'm wrong, because last time they did a meta like this was with the Tindy last year, where you actually got a full unlock of Tindy, providing 100% attendance, but there was a couple of events over. So touch wood, we might have that this time, but don't hold your breath. But anyway, whether you're doing the 50-day path or the 100-day path, pretty much they have the same point of at least 50 days in the same journey, which we started on the live stream last night. So, if you are on the 50-day path, you could be looking at commissioning Voyager anywhere up to, yeah, I will say up to, the 26th of July. That's 50 days, and that's if you're doing it on the 24-hour run. Now, obviously, if you're going to do it on the 22-hour run, you could pretty much knock about 4 days off that, potentially, and end up on the 22nd of July. Yes, 4 days earlier. However, if you're on the 100-day path and you stick with the 24-hour clock, you are looking at the 14th of September when you will actually build your Voyager. Or if you run the 22-hour clock, you could actually be looking at the 6th of September. So you're still going to require it this year free to play. But again, that's requiring you to do 100%. So now, what we're going to do is I'm going to call up the screenshot of the loop, and we're going to quickly go through it. Okay, so actually I went into my phone's gallery and called up there because it's still there. It makes it a lot easier for me to zoom in and actually read what I'm actually trying to tell you. So this is the Voyager loop. As you can see, it's quite long and it has a lot of different things and bits and bobs to it. All right, I'm not going to use technobabble, but where do you start with Voyager? Well, it's simple. Oh, hello. You start here. You need to go hunt some Herodian hostiles. Now, you can hunt the ordinary hunters, which we will look at just shortly, or you can go after the new elites, which will drop these Herodian relics. Now, you'll need to collect around 500 of these per day just to pull one blueprint of Voyager. And believe it or not, it's dead easy. I'm not going to lie to you. It is so easy. Now, yes, there's most likely going to be specific crews that you might need, but believe it or not, even down to level 30, you can do this. And this is going to be aimed at the level 30s, but don't worry. If you're not at the 30s yet, don't worry about it. At least this video is going to give you the ins and outs. If you are over the 30s and you're up there and you're still not 100% sure what to do, keep watching because I'm still going to tell you how to actually do it. But at the end of the day, it's going to come down to how you want to play the game. So, as I said, you start here, get your erosion relics. Now, there's no point going to the next step because, well, you haven't got Voyager yet. That next step is for when you actually have Voyager. So, I'd say a step 2.0, which unfortunately I haven't. If I've got a screenshot, it will be thrown there in editing. If I haven't, sorry, not much I can do. But what you'll do is you'll take these to your refinery. And in fact, I tell you what, let's jump back into the game. Okay, so I've got the box up top and I've moved myself over ready. But if you click refinery, and for those of you who are on mobile, scroll down. If you're on PC, you're lucky because it will appear there. But USS Voyager right at the bottom. Oh, and we've actually got it available to pull. So, as you can see, Herodian blueprint. And what you'll do is you'll bring those relics in here, 500 per blueprint, and you will collect it. Boom, my second one. Yay, I'm working the 22-hour clock. So 22 hours. So the time is currently 20:34 here in Britain. At the time I've just pulled that. So it's 18:34. So around about 25 to 7, I'm going to be able to pull my next one tomorrow. So, like I said, I'm going to be working the 22-hour clock. I want the 46 day. So, well, like I said, there is the grind of the 92 days or for using the 22-hour clock, or 100 days if you use the 24 clock. That's if you have not completed that first SMS in the meta. If you haven't, sorry, again, you are stuck to it. If you have completed it, like Genius Boy here, actually no, big-headed here, then yeah, we're going to be on the at least the 46 to 50 day path. So you can expect a video from me showcasing Voyager in Voyager Part 3. But anyway, where do we need to go grind? Well, to be perfectly frank, right, anywhere in the Delta Quadrant, right? You can literally go to anywhere in the Delta Quadrant. And literally, you could even start as a, get rid of that, as a level 30 player, picking a system from here that you can go to. And you'll be looking for a specific ship. Now, if I select this one, I don't need to send a ship here because luckily I can see it. And more, if you're on this kind of view, I would probably say look more for the interceptors, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong. Yep, there's one there. Look at that. So you'll be looking for these. And when you click rewards, as you can see, they have the relics in the rewards. It's not an awful lot, in all honesty. But, yeah, by all means, if you want to grind out some Delta Quadrant ships for the loot boxes, then by all means, come to these ships. I mean, there's a couple of 44 here. So he's going to go take on that Hunter. And I guarantee you will, if you're grinding these out for the loot boxes, you will still acquire that 500 in, I would probably say, around about 20 of these. Let's just say 20 as an educated guess. But that was based on that one that the UNIA guys killed. So if you're going to the lower levels, you are going to be, sorry to say, rather annoyed because it's really, really low. So really, I would highly, is one here, right here. I would really, oh, it's 15, so it's not bad. But I really would try and punch up as much as you can with these things. So, but don't worry, I will give you a couple of crew ideas. Because I did run a couple of tests with 2 sets of crews, PMC and a mystery crew. Yes, a mystery crew. So, yeah. So, in all honesty, right, they are poor loot drops. I'm not going to lie. However, if you want the bigger loot drops, Velixis, or I'm hoping I pronounced that right, this is where you need to start. Now, those other hunters are still going to be in all these other systems, so do not worry about it. You can still go to them and shoot them down. They're going to be better than the lower level systems, but in theory anyway. But if I put, and I'm going to need a smaller vessel for this, a really small vessel. But if we actually put that in and we show you the warp range for overlays, it's only warp 28. So you can actually get here as a level 30 player with no issue whatsoever. And I'm not going to lie, I can kill one of those in that system with a Mayflower. A tier 6 Mayflower. Now, there are varying things that worked in my favour on why I got a level 26 uncommon ship to actually beat one of these. Research. In combat, territory tree, anywhere else you can find weapon damage, critical damage, explorer damage for the Mayflower, battleship for the Legionary, or interceptor for the D3. Officer research as well, like attack stats, defense stats, things like that. There are things that worked in my favour. Also, my Mayflower is like nearly 2 million at tier 6 because I'm Ops 44. So it works in my favour. So I will just point that out. Now, I've got an Enterprise here with not a particularly good crew on board. All it's running is an Armada crew. Well, most of the Armada crew anyway. The only one missing off that is actually Captain Kirk. And what I'm going to do... So, there's the loot. And I'm actually going to attack this thing just to see how the Enterprise actually fares. Now, you can see it is a 29 million ship. So, just bear that in mind. It does have an ability. Every time this ship hits a target with a weapon, it reduces the target's shield mitigation by 10% for 1 round. Yeah. So, you could need some mitigation bonuses as a help with this. So what you're going to do is you're going to fly over and shoot this thing. Now, there is another type of a Hirogen ship in these systems. And we're also going to like those systems there. Satar that I've got opened up. Satar, I put my Valdor in there with my mystery crew. And it was just slaughtering them. Absolutely slaughtering them. But the only problem is the Enterprise can't reach them. So yes, you are limited on warp range. So bear that in mind. But the Enterprise there, right. There you go. That just proves it. A tier 9 Enterprise with an Armada crew, but research and everything else included, has actually just beat that quite comfortably as well, with at least 55% of my hull left. So I could potentially go for a second one if I really, really wanted to. But I don't know if there's going to be one in here. But I've just literally, before recording this video, I learned that there's an Hirogen freighter flying around that drops a hell of a lot more of these this loot. So, but by the looks of it, there's none in this system. Can the Enterprise reach the next system? Yes. So I'm just going to send the Enterprise here. But don't worry, I am going to show you the crew that I've used. And I will put it on a Mayflower. So while the Enterprise flies, I'm going to change that crew right now. Okay, so the Mayflower is now currently on its way. It'll be there in just a moment. Not going to show you what crew I've got. So let's just have a look at this. Now, I know for a fact the Enterprise is not going to beat anything in here. So what we want to try and do is see if we can find one of these freighters. But don't worry, I'm not going to spend the whole video looking for these freighters. And it looks like there isn't one in here. So sadly, I'm not going to be able to showcase one. But let's just see if we can actually hit this 42 million ship with the current crew I've got. Most likely not. I think the Enterprise is going to go boom here. So now I will just state though, using the Mayflower, yeah, there it goes. The Enterprise has gone bang. Using the Mayflower, you are going to take a lot of damage. But yeah, I can't say that level 30s are not going to be able to do this. Now, the reason I say level 30 is because in the refinery is, if you remember the patch notes, the little side note, and I brought this up as well in the live stream, to do this refinery, you need to be Ops 30. Now, if you go Ops 30 and it does not appear, the same second you go Ops 30, wait, stop, do not worry. Daily change. Yes, daily change. Now, when's the daily change? Well, if you actually click on this and get daily goals, and as you can see above me, under the 225 points, yeah, I've still got a lot to do. Resets 8 hours 15 minutes. So when that reaches 00 minutes and seconds and whatever, that's when the refinery will appear. So for me, that's 4 a.m. in the morning. For the East Coast of America, that's around about, what, 11 o'clock at night. 11 o'clock at night. So take your times from then. Or if you want another way to remember it, check your UTC time. It's around about 3 o'clock in the morning. Also 0300 hours UTC. Because I have had it confirmed that this is exactly the same time worldwide. So yeah, check it out. Now, the Mayflower has arrived. Now you're going to get an idea who is captain of the Mayflower when I bring this up. So I'm going to move myself over. So, did you catch it? Oh, here we go. Here's one of these freighters. So this is the big one. So I'm just going to fly at it, and this was not planned. I wrote a script out, but this was not planned, this bit. So, but you can see just how much I've done. Now, bearing in mind, like I said, 500 of these relics. Don't want that one. I want the log. And now you're going to see who I'm using. Yes, our friend Tal. Our friend Tal. Now, if you haven't got him yet, don't worry. For those of you who've been doing the Officer Flash Pass in between the arcs, you should get him in the next one. For those of you who haven't been and are behind on blueprints and not going to acquire him, sadly, you might need to spend a few pennies unless there is going to be another free-to-play path. I've not heard of any yet, but anyway. So let's have a quick look at the battle log. This went 18 rounds, and this is why Tal is good, because these do go quite a few rounds. So you've got a chance to burn off, destroy a lot of the ship's hull. I mean, look at that thing's hull. Absolutely ruined. Absolutely ruined. Gave that Payflower a perfect chance. And yes, for those newer players in the game, what's a Payflower? It was the nickname originally given to the Mayflower when it first came out. It was called the Payflower. It was a crap ship. Yeah, crap. It's only level 23, but it is it's a tier 7, not a tier 6. So it is a tier 7. And as you can see from my cruise levels as well, I'm running a below deck officer. Who is it? Hugh. Increase those critical hits. Don't know why my dog's barking, but hey ho. So yeah. So there are a number of factors here I have thrown in my favour to make this work. Now, will it work without Hugh? Will it work without Tal? Well, we're just going to have to look at some more battle logs. Because, in all honesty, Veteran Patrol... Oh yeah, I've just been killing a load of Romulans and Klingons. So, what was that? This is a Veteran Patrol. Where are you all? Here we go. So, this was the list of tests that I ran. And if I go down to the first one, which I know for a fact if I find him, this was the standard test because he was OPC massively. 185,000 G3 gas. Yeah. So one of my lines found him, so I said, I'll have him if you don't. But anyway, so now, yes, I did start with a Vaclus. I did start with this, and I gave it a fighting chance for a level 30 player. Tier 6. I gave it a fighting chance. But as you can see, didn't really do an awful lot. So even with, and yes, I had Hugh below deck. It just didn't get through. So, yeah, okay, the Vaclus itself. Now, could the Kamari stand up to it? Maybe. Possibly. Could be a squeaky pants time. However, Pipe Chen, yeah. And we're going to go further. And I will say, unless you've got a more powerful ship, yeah, a tier 6 Saladin, 2.3 million. Yeah, okay, again, that's with all the research and everything, the officer strength. So it puts a lot in my favour. But it did better. It did a lot better. But again, how many rounds did it go? 52 rounds, so it's like double the last one. So it lasted longer, just didn't win. So now I know what some of you are saying. It's a foregone conclusion that the Vaclus would never have won in the first place. But I wanted to actually see what was the lowest level ship we could technically go for. Now I put the Gladius in, and this is only a tier 2 Gladius. It's only a tier 2 Gladius. It only just lost. And again, how many rounds did it go? 50 rounds. So now we have a potential for Pike Chen. However, this is a level 32 ship. It's a shipyard 32 ship, a G3 rare. So, yeah. So I thought, okay, so a tier 3 could potentially do it with Pike Chen. You're going to take a lot of damage. It's going to be expensive repairs and a hell of a lot of travel time. So I thought, what about, is this the one? The Bortus. Well, she won. This is a tier 9 Bortus. I don't expect a level 30 player to be rocking up in a 3.2 million tier 9 Bortus. Okay? So, this is just another sign that those G3 uncommons with Pike Chen are not going to work. They ain't going to work against those level 35s. Sadly, you will need to go for the normal hunters. But then again, these are elite with shooting. So, yeah, it's kind of expected they are stronger. They pack a bigger punch. I mean, let's just look at the shots that this one's firing. 857. What big numbers. That really made my eat my words right then. But it went 62 rounds. 62 rounds. And, I mean, what was actually giving that? It's the hull health. The Bortus is going to rip its way through 50 million hull. 50 million hull. So this is why Tal is going to be pretty effective against these. Now, I moved on. Brought the Bortus back with Tal. Look at the difference. I actually had shields left. But I've come back from having around about 35% hull to having an 85% hull. 85%. And I hammered it. But I also stripped its hull away with Tal. So this is why I say, if you are a level 30 player, rocking up with Tal is going to be your bread and butter. Now, problem with Tal. He needs a decent burning officer. GG is pretty damn good. Mine's tier 4, 75% chance of proccing burning. I've got a maxed Nero, 50% chance of proccing. But Nero needs that thing to hit me for him to have that 1 in 2 chance of proccing. Now, yeah, it's not a bad proc. It's a pretty good proc, but I would still take 75% over 50 any day. I would. Now, I know what you're saying as a level 30 player. You might not be able to do this. It might not be possible. You might not have officers like that. And yes, I have said it earlier in the video. I am rocking a lot of research in both ship research, combat research, individual ship classification combat research, in both the combat tree, the territory tree, the away teams tree. And yeah, and then you've got the officer research as well. On top of that, attack stats, defense stats, overall stats. Yeah, I'm rocking a lot of research. So you might find it hard to hit this. If, however, you're a level 34, bring out your G3 Epic. Just look what my Enterprise did. And if you've got them, imagine what your G3 Epic's going to do. So, but yeah, so that's the ships. And I can safely say, and we'll even show you some more battle logs. So I had another 2 defeats. Just to show you, Tal is not the all and end and all. Because the Vaclus still couldn't do it. Nope, she couldn't do it. And how many rounds did she only lasted 19 rounds. So that wasn't even enough time for Tal to strip enough hull off. So, but I mean, it is actually stripped a fair whack off that thing. The Vaclus just couldn't inflict that much damage. So, then the next one, which was that? Oh, okay, so I've just read that one. But yeah, I've got 2 defeats here. Why have I got 2 defeats? All right, yes. I came back and did a second one just to double check that I was reading things correctly. Saladin, 2.3 million. Again, tier 6. More closer to what you'd actually be as a level 30 with a Saladin. Well, actually, you won't be 2.3 million. You'd probably be about half that. But, again, it's done that, so you may have a chance. If not, well, you could always crack out the Mayflower. Yes, this is how I knew the Mayflower was going to work, and this was like, mwah. But again, this is a 1.9 minutes, nearly 2 million. And it's rocking a lot of research and a lot of officer stats. So you will need it. But it can still be done at Ops 30. You might have to tinker around with your officers, with the type of ships. If you are limited on ships you have, yeah, obviously being level 30. Why not try the Vidar? Don't send the Franklin. For God's sake, don't send the Franklin. Or the Stella. Don't send the Stella. Your Vidar might be your next best thing, in all honesty. But, again, it depends where you've got, what level you've got that to. So, but yeah. So, how many of these relics are you going to need in total for the 100 blueprints? 50,000. Yep, a whopping 50,000 relics. But the grind doesn't stop there. No, it doesn't. It doesn't stop there. It goes further. Now, I'm actually happy to show you this particular screenshot because this is the Elite Hunter. The one you saw me kill was obviously the Freighter. So let's have a look at the battle logs. Now, this went 19 rounds. That's nice. So, and then, oh, hello. I can't scroll there, can I? And out and scroll it all the way back to the top. So again, and how many rounds do we rock? Oh, we rocked 18 rounds on that one. But look how much firepower this thing's putting out. 15,000 that first shot. Wow. Yep, and it looks pretty standard. And there's a critical rocking 78,000. So, yeah. My Mayflower was taking some serious damage. But it rocked it. And again, hull health, 50 million. So it's rocking pretty much the same stats as the actual elite. But yeah, the elite's not kicking out. Okay, fine. It's over 1,000. That's 2 blueprints. So, but that's because I've got 5 of 11 on the bridge. If you've got the Doctor below deck and you've actually got the slots below deck, yeah, you're going to be looking a little bit more. So, but yeah, so you're looking at 50,000 relics in total to do. But the relics don't stop there, if you remember from the loop. So let's jump back to the loop. So here we go. So relics. Now, when you do get Voyager unlocked, you're going to start on this path. So you're going to go to the refinery, because everything is going to be in the refinery. And you're going to convert these relics into deuterium canisters. You're going to need these canisters, as it clearly says, for the Voyager's active ability. And they've actually put juice on it. Wow. They've actually gone down to what the OCCs actually say. Boost juice. So, or something similar anyway. Now, when you've had the canisters, you can use the active ability to find species 8472. We found a couple on the live stream. These are what you're going to need to go hunt and get yet another currency called exotic biotoxins. And what you're going to do with these toxins? Right here. You're going to take them back to the Voyager refinery and you're going to convert them for Voyager parts or circuitry parts. So, yeah, that's brilliant. Upgrade Voyager. However, Voyager is going to be expensive in parts. So, we'll have a quick look at that in just a minute. So, once you've done that as well, you're going to get these anomaly samples. You're going to be able to travel to specific systems because you will get a travel token as well and some common signia, which will help you towards the other specialty ships and tokens, parts for the classifications of ships in the refinery. But you'll mine these anomaly samples as well, which you can then convert into things for research, for the Voyager research and artifacts and things like that. So when you actually break it down, if you follow the loop step by step, it seems pretty simple. But I'm not going to deny it. It's convoluted, it's big, it can be complicated, and it's going to take some time to do. I mean, some of the cooldowns are up to 3 days from what I've seen on some of the refineries. So, just bear that in mind. But anyway, that's the Voyager grind. Yeah. Are you looking forward to it? Really? I'm not. But the ability to look for bases? Yeah. Now, we will talk more about Voyager when we actually get Voyager. Which, yeah, like I said, it's going to be between the 22nd and the 26th of June. Because I'm going to make sure that I complete that meta. One way or another. So, I've got to go hunt some Borg now for today's meta mission. So, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel as well. Also, if you want to donate to the channel, the links are in the video's description, along with the link to Discord as well. Come along. We're building up the charts in there. I've got most of the loops in there as well, where I've pinched the screenshots from other various areas. I just put them in the nice area for everyone to be able to know. Oh, a Defiant loop. Oh, the Mantis loop. You know, things like that. So the Discord does contain some valuable information. It's still work in progress. It's still building. But hey, your help can really make it. But anyway, I better dash off. I've got the Borg to grind. So, stay safe. Thank you for joining me on the Pegasus Show. This was the Voyager grind. Live long and prosper. And I shall see you on the next video. Goodbye.